Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 12th and final episode of Gamers. The final episode. This really has been a very enjoyable series so far. I would say it was pretty much in my top 3 of the season. So it is going to be rough to see this one go, but all the good things must come to an end, so let's get to it. In the last episode, Conan invited Keita to go on a double date with her, and he was reluctant to do this at first, but, it is his super cute girlfriend that's asking, so... And this is Keita. So not too surprised that he did cave in and end up going. The double date was with Uehara and Aguri, obviously. And they went to a RPG-themed amusement park, which did look like a lot of fun. So I'm sure Keita was happy he decided to go in the end. They actually ran into Chiaki and Konoha there, by coincidence. Because Konoha kind of pushed Chiaki into that. Like, really pushed her, but they went as well. And they pretty much become a triple date at that point. They went to a haunted house together, which it was a very high quality, high budget on a haunted house. No complaints there. Chiaki, Konoha, and Keita ended up going through the give up exit, which was a good thing because Chiaki was about to collapse. And she actually woke up to a sister lap pillow, which was nice. And Konoha kind of left Chiaki and Keita alone, and they had their talk, which was a good opportunity for Chiaki to confess, but she didn't in the end, and it kind of seemed like she was going to give up on Keita, but the ending scene with her and her sister seems like she hasn't given up, so I guess we'll see how that goes. I really do like the relationship between Chiaki and Konoha. Like, Konoha is very supportive of Chiaki. Like, not only was she helping her, get her feelings across to Keita, but she was also willing to go along with that lie about her being, Nobe, the game developer, which, still can't believe Keita's still buying that, but anyway, that was the episode, so let's get into the next and final one, shall we? As usual, there'll be no audio footage of the anime used in the reaction for copyright reasons. There's a timer in the upper left-hand corner, and subs below me to help you follow along. So let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. This was unexpected. Men in Black. I'm sure that wasn't supposed to be a reference, but it was so funny. Not entirely sure what's going on right now. How much of this is actually true? Oh, plot twist. I assume she's with her boyfriend. Riki, I think he said he was his adoptive sister. What was with the finger vibrator? What did I just watch? I mean, that is a guy that was supposed to join the game club with Keita, but he decided not to, I believe. He hasn't really had a lot of screen time in this show. Although none of the game club members really have, aside from Conan. I do wish this opening was subtitled. Gamers and billing system talk. Okay. Where's the fun in that? Of course, Aguri would not be happy with that. I disagree, but... Don't be worried, just roll with it. I was about to say... Meanwhile, Chiaki. The sound effects are on point there. It is steaming, so... Of course, Kate is more of a baby than Aguri is. Are we sure they're not a couple? Elder's Hunt. Nobody wants it. I know, right? I personally would never pay $60 for a game. I always buy them on discounts. I disagree. Oh, someone's gonna get smacked. Gotta throw that last one in there. But yeah, a lot of things in life are overpriced. The best recreation. Well, aside maybe anime. Very understandable. Didn't we say no flirting? I know. What a great argument. The game maker. I'm pretty sure that depends on the gamer. Not all games involve leveling up. Striking a pose for a picture in the middle of it. Bit of a straw man argument here, but... What you mean is grinding is boring, and I'm sure some people do enjoy that. But a good game wouldn't require grinding in the first place. You just have to pace your game better. What else would you possibly do? I thought we already established that. That's why you wait for a Steam sale. Downloadable content is what it stands for. A lot of DLC is not worth it, though. I would never do that, personally. Like, ever. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily believe them, but... Okay, that's a maybe for me. But not more of a reflection of yourself than your actual self. Oh, here we go. Going on the offensive. Equipped it. Like, wear it, yeah. He's got you there. The shoujo character. He kind of already is. That's not fair. I can't look at the subs and that little chibi-aguri at the same time. And the choice is obvious. And now it's their turn to break the no flirting rule. I would never buy a loot box either. It's like $300, so. Again. I feel like this is going to be a running joke of the episode. There are very few games that are actually free to play. I am really gonna smack you, Aguri. Yeah, a lot more video game debates in this episode than I was expecting. I will admit, the video game industry has definitely went downhill. I can't deny that. Yeah, it's mostly the AAA video games that are like that. I mean, DLC is fine as long as it's something good and not overpriced. I mean, if a game has combined DLC that's more expensive than the game itself, that's what I have a bit of an issue with. No kidding. Maybe, but I do get frustrated failing a bunch of times in a row. Maybe if you're a bit of a masochist. But I do like the camera angles. Exactly, masochist. Oh man, if that Steam was not there. No, that's not true. But man, that jiggle. Subtitles are very hard to read right now. Jesus. A lot of them, not all of them. This is an important distinction. She always had weird ideas about video games. The size difference. Man, that is a great angle. That's a look of no, but I don't want to say anything. What is with you and the fish? Oh wow. The reference. Ika Musume as well. I want another season of Ika Musume. I mean, it does make sense. Listening on the boys' side. It's supposed to be the boys that do that, but... I would never buy a hard mode DLC. It just comes naturally. Yeah, you don't need glasses for that. Glasses DLC. Yeah, just more flirting. I was about to say, doesn't that kind of go against the rule that you made? I mean, I'd be fine with them breaking the rule. No complaints from me. Shouldn't that be in the main game? I guess that's a fitting analogy. That would be kind of a ripoff. They really are, but like I said, Steam sales. Oh, really? Could have fooled me. No. Yes. She's a special case. Everybody wastes money on something. Indeed. That's why you never have parents buy a video game for you. A true gamer indeed. Of course. Well said. Secondary value. In reality, games cost a lot because they spend millions of dollars in advertising. Back to Elder's Hunt. Yep. That's the appropriate response. Wow. Now that was a really good final episode. That may have been my favorite episode in the entire series. Like, I mean, it had video game discussion in it, like, through most of the episode, as well as nice fan service in the hot spring. Like, what could you possibly have to complain about this episode, aside from the steam in the hot spring? You know, Blu-rays win. Of course, the beginning was a little bit odd. Not sure what that was about. And of course, it would have been nice to have some Konoha, but Konoha's not one of the main girls, even though she is my favorite. I kinda have to accept that. and one final end card. Not as good as the last episode's end card, but not bad. So yeah, that was the 12th and final episode of Gamers. And wow, I feel like I could talk about this episode for a while. But yeah, this episode was basically them going on a trip, a training camp, I guess you could kind of call it. Hot spring vacation, really whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it was a great episode. The beginning was a little bit odd, showing, that one game club member that's not as important as he seemed like he would be in the first episode, similar to the other game club members. But from there, it was the trip that all the main characters went on. And they had the no flirting rule that went out the window pretty quickly. Not surprising, really. But yeah, the bulk of the episode was video game debate, which Aguri is the one that started that, taking shots at video games. I mean, it's not like she didn't have any points. Like, in my opinion, games, at least AAA games, are too expensive. $60 is just a lot to ask, especially when there are games that are a lot more enjoyable for $10, sometimes less than that. But there are Steam sales where you can get, an expensive game much cheaper. Like if a game comes out for $60, eventually the price just drops down to $20, and then if you buy 75% off on Steam, you're suddenly paying $5 for a $60 game. Which, that's generally what I prefer to do because I'm not really in a hurry to play, the new shining games. Because, especially in this day and age, there is no shortage of games to play. Which is why when a game does something, that pisses you off, decision-wise with its development, you can just play something else. You don't have to settle anymore, which wasn't always the case back in the day. But it's part of the reason why you see gamers get called entitled so much, because they can afford to be picky. But, I don't want to digress too much in the general video game discussion, but that was pretty much what the episode was about. Aguri just didn't get it, because she's not really a gamer to begin with. She only really joined the game meetup thing because Uehara was there. I think it was episode 10 or 9 where Kaito was trying to get her to join. And that was pretty much how we did. But yeah, definitely some nice fan service in the hot spring part. Just some great camera angles and everything. Big size differences. The Steam was, like I said, the only complaint with that. Of course, they were continuing the discussion while in the hot spring, so it made it a little bit hard to focus on everything I wanted to focus on. But I guess, that's what rewatches are for, especially when the Blu-ray comes out. So yeah, it was a great episode, but my thoughts on the series as a whole. It has been a very enjoyable series. I mean, it's an anime about video games, which are my two favorite recreational activities. So, combined like this, I was bound to enjoy the series a lot. And the comedy was pretty much on point through most of the series. It was very consistent. And I pretty much like all the girls. Even Aguri, which isn't really the type of girl I would usually like. I do like her quite a bit. She is very cute. And yeah, I was a little bit, salty at her this episode because all the stuff she was saying about video games, but I still do like her as a character. Konoha is still my favorite character, even though she's not really a main one. She had a very interesting introduction into the series. The student council president really loves Eroge rubbing her face on the chair that the other student council members were sitting in, which I think was all girls. But yeah, the series, obviously, a lot of the comedy was based on misunderstandings, which didn't bother me. When misunderstandings are used for drama, it's kind of annoying, but all the misunderstandings in this series were made for comedy, which it did do a good job of. Especially, the most standout scene to me is probably the one where Keita confessed to Karen, even though that wasn't really what he was intending to do. There was just so many misunderstandings going around in that room. Characters staring at each other, trying to read their expressions. That was great. That was an amazing scene. But yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say on this one. So, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, so, let me know what you thought of the anime. What you thought of my reaction in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Let's hope for a season 2.